All right, today's lesson is drawing a face, or eventually a self-portrait, but we're going to start with the face. So to do that, I'm going to draw an ellipse. And actually, even before that, I'm going to do this. I'm going to give my paper some color, or value in other words, by taking a side of the piece of vine charcoal and rubbing it on the paper like this. This gives me a middle ground and a context to build my face out of. There we go. Nice and dark, darker the better. And then I want to take my chamois and smooth it out. Lightly go with your chamois. And now I'm going to draw an ellipse. All right, and this ellipse basically represents the facial plane, or in other words, the shape of a face, let's say. I'm just going to show you the general schematic for a face. I'm not going to be specific yet. All right, so there we go, a nice ellipse. And I'm going to divide that ellipse horizontally, like this. This is to figure out where the placement of my features are going to go. All right, like that. Because our faces are bisymmetrical, and then I'm going to divide it in half horizontally. Because our features are located down here. They're not up here. If you start putting your eyes up here, it's going to look like an alien. I'm now going to take the bottom half and divide that in half again. And then the bottom quarter, I'll divide that into thirds. This is going to give me an idea of where the nose is going to go, the ears, the eyes will go here. Now what I want to do is I want to draw 4 circles, 5 circles actually, across the face here. So I'm going to make them small enough, or the right size, so I can fit 5 of them here. Most people make the eyes too big, and even after I have people do this, or students, they still make the eyes too big. Interestingly enough, one mom makes the eyes bigger than they actually are. All right, there we go. Now this gives you the right spacing and the right size or scale of the eyes. Your eyes are going to go here. Okay. Now if I were going to draw an eye, a big eye, all right, so let's draw an eye over here just so you can see it. I'm going to draw like a football shape, all right, like this, and like this, or a crescent shape. This line will be repeated twice for the upper eyelid, and it'll come out and over the lower lid, like so. Your iris, or your eyeball, sets in and up into the eye socket, so you're not going to see the top of the iris unless someone is kind of strange, some kind of eye abnormality perhaps. And then your pupil will be in the middle here. That'll be the darkest part of your eye. Your eye is a ball, so keep that in mind, which means the corners here may be a little more darker or in the shadow. There's a little loop here on the inside corner of the eye for your tear duct, and then your iris is typically darker, like so. You have some pigment here. The edge of it is oftentimes sometimes darker, like so, and then you got little lines or striations coming in to the pupil, like so. All right, there we go. And then what's also going to have a little lower lid is not as pronounced down here. You have eyelashes, of course, like this. But maybe even more important than that is a little light. So I can take either my eraser, because your eye is wet, right? So that means it's going to be highly reflective. So I'm going to put a little highlight in the eye like so. I have a little bit of light on the upper, anything that faces upward, like the upper eyelid will have a little light on it like that. There'll be a little light on the upper edge of the lower lid, like so. And your eye will be a little bit lighter as it comes into the center. The white of your eye will be a little lighter there. And see, it makes the eye more convex. In other words, kind of round, because it's an eyeball, okay? Let's darken this up a little bit. So there we go. there's a big eye. Now the trick of doing eyes is doing two of them, so I'm going to do two of them here, one and that, right on that line, and then one over here. Same idea as I've done there, all right? All right, there we go. And I can use my eraser to put some white in the eye, or I could use my white charcoal pencil. That's your other option. All right, there we go. And notice how the eyes really bring the face to life almost immediately. If you draw lines down from the corners of the eye like this, that's the width of your nose. So you have the tip of your nose will be on this line here, a little curved line that goes up like that, and another two little curved lines on the outside like this. Again, this is just a general idea of a nose. It's not anyone's nose in particular yet. Your nostrils are right in here. And then your eye socket extends past the corner of the eye, the inside corner of the eye, by about a ½ inch or so. And that's what forms the bridge of your nose. All right, so there's the bridge of the nose. Usually there's a little shadow here because it curves under. And then you have, as your nose comes out, it has more light on it, catches light. Anything that faces outward catches the light, or angles upward, or has a plane that faces the ceiling, let's say. See, that gives the nose some dimension. Remember, dark recedes, light comes forward. And then from this circle you have your eyebrows. So, okay. Underneath your nose is a little a little structure called the filium. It's like two little lines, slightly curved. There's a little V shape there. That's because your muscle that goes around your mouth is called the orbicularis oris, and that pulls up on your upper lip like this, and then you have the lower lip underneath that. Now, anything again that faces curves under has light or has shadow on it, so your upper lip is almost always in the shadow unless you're laying on your back, and then your upper lip catches the light. Like so. Top your chin, same thing, where you top your chin as it catches the light, like so. A little shadow underneath the lower lip because it curves under. All right, underneath your eyes, there's often the muscle structure that creates this shadow under here, like that, because your muscles go around your eye. As you get older, they become less elastic and lots of wrinkles, like on my face, for example. And then from the corner of your nose, sometimes you'll have a little lines like this. Defines your cheeks. Your cheeks are in the light. Your cheekbone catches the light, like so. And underneath the cheekbones is a little shadow here between your upper and lower mandibles. You have a little concaveness here. You get a little shadow. Alright, there we go. So far, so good. Alright, we're coming up to 9 minutes, so I'm going to continue this in part 2 of drawing the face.